All right, let's jump right in. What if a sacred text, like the Quran, held its own mathematical blueprint? I mean, a code woven right into its fabric. Today, we're going to explore a truly fascinating numerical pattern, all based on the work of Adel ben Dali Hassen. It's this incredible story where letters and numbers cross paths in ways you just wouldn't expect. So everything we're about to look at, it all revolves around this one single number, 114. Now, this isn't random. It's kind of the architectural foundation of the Quran. It's the total number of chapters, or surahs. You're going to want to keep this number in your head because, trust me, it's going to show up over and over again. And this, of course, leads us to the big question we're going to explore together. Are all these super intricate patterns we're about to see, are they just a series of really amazing coincidences? Or are they evidence of something intentional? Like a mathematical signature hidden right inside the text? Okay, check this out. This is the discovery that kicks off the entire investigation. If you count the letters right from the very beginning of the Quran, guess what? The 114th letter is the Arabic letter meme. It's this direct, almost poetic link between the total number of chapters and the position of a single letter. This is where it all begins.
So you might be wondering, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Well, let me tell you, that one fact is just the very, very tip of the iceberg. It's the key that unlocks this massive pattern that was already there, waiting to be found.
Now, for those of you who might be new to this is actually the fourth part of our deep dive. In the previous analyses, we've already looked at 11 different calculations. And the truly mind-blowing part is that every single one, each with its own unique logic, pointed right back to that same number, 114. And the linchpin for all of this, it's the 24th word of the Quran, Alayhoum. So its last letter is that crucial 114th letter, the mem we talked about. But here's where it gets another layer. It's also the 13th time the letter mem appears in the Quran. Now that number 13, remember that one too, it's about to become super important. All right, so let's build on that foundation. We're moving on to our 13th calculation now. And for this one, we're kind of taking a wide-angle view. We're going to gather up all the statistical data we can find in the text, leading right up to that critical 114th letter. So here's the rule for this one. We take the section of text that contains the first 13 mems, and then we basically collect every single statistical data point you can think of related to that section. I'm talking word counts, letter counts, verse numbers, even the positions of the letters, the whole shebang. It's like creating a complete numerical profile. And just to be clear, the scope of this is huge. You can see from this list, this isn't about cherry-picking a few convenient numbers. Nope, we're adding up a total of 17 different values, everything from simple word counts all the way to the cumulative positions of letters. It's an absolutely exhaustive data sweep. So what happens when you throw all 17 of those different values into a pot and add them all up? You get a grand total of 1,368. The final step is pretty simple. We just divide that number by the total number of words in that section, which happens to be 12.
And the result? It's pretty amazing. 1368 is a perfect multiple of 114. It's exactly 12, that's the number of words we just talked about, times 114. I mean, even after collecting all that different data, the pattern still points right back to our key number. Wild.
All right, let's keep this ball rolling and see where this goes next. For our next calculation, we're going to circle back to that number 13. Remember, that's the occurrence number of our key meme in that word, Alayhoum. Now, the search criteria here get very, very precise. We're looking for every single word in the entire Quran that meets two specific conditions. First, it has to have the letter meme in it. Second, at least one of its other letters has to be the 13th time that particular letter shows up in the text. You see how specific that is? So you run that incredibly specific search across the entire Quran, and it only comes back with 9 words. That's it, just 9. You can see them right here. And yep, no surprise, our keyword, Alayhoum, is on the list. Okay, so we're going to use the same method as before. We take these 9 words and we add up all of their statistical attributes. You know the drill. Letter counts, distinct letters, verse numbers, all of it. And when you combine all that data, you get a grand total of 1,026. And you guessed it, the pattern holds. That total, 1026, is exactly 9, the number of words we found, times 114. It's just the consistency is what gets me.
Even when we totally change the search rules, we land right back in the same spot.
Okay, after those really broad searches, let's zoom way in for something a bit more direct, almost elegant. We're going back to that key 7th verse of the first chapter, the one that has the word Alayhoum in it twice. So if you add up the individual occurrence numbers for every single letter in those 2 words, you get 108. Now just add the occurrence numbers of only the meme letters in that verse, which is 6. And what do you get? 108 plus 6 is exactly 114.
Okay, we're on to our final calculations now, and these ones are designed to look for even more specific, almost symmetrical patterns that all tie back to that crucial 13th mem.
So check out the rules for this next search. We're looking for words that are 1. Exactly 5 letters long, 2. They have to end with the letter meme, and 3. That final meme has to be the 13th time that letter appears inside its own chapter. I mean, talk about a narrow filter. And when you apply that incredibly specific filter to the entire Quran, you get just 5 words. That's it. Out of almost 80,000 words in the whole book, only these 5 check all 3 of those boxes.
Okay, now for the final part. We take these 5 super unique words and just add up their most basic details. You know, the word count itself, the letter count, their verse numbers, that sort of thing. And when you just add those simple, basic numbers together, the result is, you guessed it, exactly 114. Again. And for our final piece of evidence today, we're going back one last time to those 2 Alayhoum words in verse 7. This time, we're only looking at their positional and occurrence data, basically their specific addresses and sequence numbers in the text. And as you can see in this table, when you add up these core coordinates, the grand total lands perfectly one last time on 114.
So, here we are. We've just walked through a total of 17 distinct calculations, right? From these huge statistical sweeps to these incredibly specific targeted searches, and they all point back to the Quran's foundational number. And that leaves us with a really profound question, doesn't it? What do these complex, layered numerical patterns really suggest about the connection between language, math, and ancient texts? I mean, what does it mean when a book seems to be encoded with its own blueprint? Now that is something to think about.